Hey there, Kenneth French of Vast Voice, telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. We're very, very happy you stopped by. Either you're going to watch this or listen to this because you want to take your business to the next level. You're probably an entrepreneur who's either just starting out or you've been around for quite a while and you want to take your business to the next level. You're probably a real estate investor, maybe even a real estate agent, maybe a professional or of some sort, professional advisor of some sort. And well, you are stopping by because you need some valuable advice from one of the top industry leaders there is. Anyway, thank you very much. Once again, Kenneth French, Vast Voice, telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. Really glad you stopped by.
If you're an entrepreneur looking to save some money, you're in the right spot. Hey, my name is Kenneth French with VastSolutionsGroup.com. We've been doing taxes for some time, specifically for entrepreneurs, usually real estate investors. We've been around since 1969, and we're here to help you get some AI R&D credits. What do I mean by that? Well, you'll see. This presentation is going to help you, usually a real estate investor, usually someone who's an entrepreneur. You really probably are someone else who wants to make some money and save some money. And the government's going to actually pay you to do that. So let's get right to it. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to show you a little bit about R&D credits. And it sounds like a kind of a boring thing. Well, it's going to help you to make some money. That's all I got to tell you. So here we go. So, the presentation is called The Power of AI R&D Tax Credits. It's real, and it's by Vast Solutions Group and me, Kenneth French. By the way, I'm a former Forbes.com small business contributor. I've written 3 books. I have another on the way, and we're going to be, showing you ways to lower tax liability, getting research credits where money will go into your pocket. It's different than a tax deduction. We're going to go over that in just a few moments. Been around since 1969, as I mentioned. 2006 I took over, and now the company has offices in pretty much every state, and at the same time we are really growing but still service oriented. Why are we any good? Who knows? Well, Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful on the Shark Tank, Vast Solutions Group is saving entrepreneurs money on tax. Check them out. You'll be glad you did. Listen to him, listen to some of our clients, check our Google reviews, et cetera, et cetera. You're probably right now leveraging AI. By the way, right now, by you watching this, we can even give you tax credits, depending on the circumstances, R&D tax credits, because you're going to potentially down the road, if you're not already doing it, you're hopefully going to be doing it. And that is using our artificial intelligence to really innovate, to make your company that much better at doing whatever it is. If you're watching, listening to this, it's probably real estate. Now, and we have a strategy for helping you to do that. We've been doing artificial intelligence since really 2010. 2018 is when we came out with our own model called Einstein. We'll go over that. Now, is AI a fad? No, it's growing much faster than even the internet did by a long time ago. By the way, which still, this is kind of crazy. 4% of society right now, 4% of the human race is using artificial intelligence, usually based on, Chat GPT or Open AI, or who knows, maybe Google with its Gemini model. But anyway, only 4%. So by you watching and listening to this audio video, it shows that you're really an early adopter. You're probably, playing around with the system, one of the models. You don't really know how to use it, but hopefully by watching and listening to this video, you're going to start really getting engaged with AI. And then again, have the US government give you money for doing the innovation that is AI in your business. So let's go and look at kind of the specifics. Are we talking about deductions? Are we talking about tax deductions when we're talking about AI? Well, we could be. You do get a deduction. You could just leave it at that, get a deduction because you're doing a little bit of research, or you can apply for the research credit, the AI R&D research credit. Now here you'll see, this is a very, 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 very conservative suggestion, or I should say example, of looking at, well, $100,000 spend on R&D. Here under deduction, you see $100,000 living in California. In this example, this is a true to life example, by the way. 37% tax rate, California rate 13.3, and here you see the federal tax savings, 37,000, California tax savings of 13,300. By the way, sometimes you can't even get a deduction in California for that. Anyway, that's another story. Anyway, total immediate tax savings around $50,000. If you apply and get the R&D tax credit, which is something that we'll be discussing, $100,000. Bottom line, I'm going to bring you down to the total immediate savings as we speak today, $48,000 in this example. and it's roughly, by the way, an approximation. But you can do a federal credit carry forward of $18,000. So net, it's about a $16,000 savings based on the federal credit as you get via carry forward. So that's a number. Is it enough? Don't know. But depending on the circumstances, you could even, these are conservative estimates, you can even save more money than that. So that shows the power of the R&D tax credit. There's other tax credits that also can be thrown in there. By the way, what we're talking about is all ethical, moral, etc. If you're pushing the envelope, there's a number of different criteria with respect to what that means. You truly can get tax credits, which, as you can see, are totally different than a deduction. Anyway, I'm not going to get into the specifics in this specific video, but one way of figuring it out is talk to your advisor. Talk to your existing advisor. If he or she knows nothing about the R&D tax credit as it relates to AI, you got issues. Typically, we train a lot of tax professionals on how to specifically work with the R&D tax credit or AI R&D tax credit. We've been doing it for years. Right after I started working with a company, again, vastsolutionsgroup.com, we started spending 20% of all of our work on research and development. It helped us really to understand really what the marketplace needed as far as technology. That's how we came to understand artificial intelligence. What I would also say is it helped us in the marketplace. There's no way we could have offices in every state if it weren't for us with the specialization of AI based on the R&D we did. We've gotten business based on our being innovative. So now we're a national firm. We wouldn't have been a national firm if it weren't for doing the research, doing R&D, 20% of all resources going to R&D. Anyway, going back to what I'm talking about, specifically R&D tax credits, you can see there's a net tax savings, something to think about if you're really pushing the envelope in any way with AI. And by you watching this, this could be part of the component to you getting an R&D tax credit, research and development tax credit. What are we talking about? Unlock funding for AI. We're going to talk about, AI R&D tax credits a little bit more. Really, by the way, think about this. If you're using AI, using ChatGPT as an example, Gemini, Grok, any of the above, Claude, whatever the case is, and using it for posting on your social media, you could potentially get some tax credits for that, believe it or not, because you're pushing the envelope. You're trying to help push society forward with technology, with innovation, as an example. Plus, you get maximized tax savings. We're going to talk about ways to strategize to help and AI R&D tax credit. And again, as I mentioned, you get competitive tax advantage because people see you as a leader as it relates to technology in your industry. If you're a real estate investor, if you're a real estate, even advisor, if you're a real estate agent, et cetera, et cetera. So let's go over what are the tax credits. Government incentives. The government is giving people, really entrepreneurs, money for propelling themselves forward, which hopefully will help society in some way. Just think if money wasn't going towards the research and development credit to OpenAI, who started ChatGPT, who knows, maybe they wouldn't have decided to move forward with the AI and really push the AI revolution. Don't know. But what I would say is that's part of the component for bettering innovation by, the government giving money to individuals and to companies, et cetera, for pushing the envelope and providing innovation to the marketplace. Now, and they reward us as entrepreneurs based on, it's succeeded, so we're going to give you research and development credits, R&D credits. Eligible activities, it really depends on the circumstance. That's what we do. We take that work off your shoulders. We do it for you. We provide the expertise based on years of analysis as it relates to taxes and AI R&D and tax savings. Bottom line, you get tax savings, as I indicated before, without a doubt. There are, generally speaking, tax savings. Now, how do you qualify for R&D tax credits? Well, usually, right now, especially AI-related tax activities. Pretty much anything, if you really think about it. Learning algorithms, training neural networks as an example. That's a big word for, training your AI model, prompting as an example. There's a whole number of things that are related to AI that are worthy of a tax credit as the government or as the state or as the federal government dictates. Eligibility criteria, that's what we do. We take that work off your shoulders of sifting through all the expenses and help you to figure out what is eligible and what will qualify as an R&D tax credit as far as expenses go. Significant tax savings, we've talked about that. If you don't like saving, as I mentioned before, whatever it was, around $15,000, $13,000 in taxes, well, how about giving the money to me? Minimizing audit risk. If you do the work in advance, again, what we do is take the work off your shoulders. We potentially could minimize audit risk. And seek provide professional guidance. That's what we do. Take the work off your shoulders. We sometimes even will do an RFP, request for proposal. If you're a larger company and you need to vet, if you will, tax professionals to see if they can do the R&D credit, we've done that as well. What I would also say, in general, we have our black box that we call Einstein, which we're going to go over in just a little bit, which can help you with all these components. It's pretty technical, but that's what we do. I'm trying to really relay that to you. That's what we do. We help a business owner by not having to worry about the crazy, I won't say arcane, but the crazy world that is the R&D tax credit world. Let's go over our product, our service that we call AI Credit Max. Again, AI Credit Max. We do all the data collection for you. We have a model that does it, requests information internally through our system, and it gathers all the data, because there's a lot of data that can help you that a lot of people are missing as entrepreneurs as far as R&D credits. So we gather all that data, and it's a painstaking process, but hence the reason we have to charge a fee, which we're going to go over. But at the same time, it helps the business owner, because there's a lot of money that could be on the table that people are forgetting about. Think about this. Let's say you're spending this time, let's say you're spending an hour. We won't be here for an hour, but let's say you're spending an hour paying attention to this. Whatever your salary is, quote, salary is, well, that is money that you're owed by the government, not only for deduction, but also for an AI tax credit. Does that make sense? Because that R&D, you're doing R&D, you're looking to propel your business, being innovative in your business. So you get the government to give you money as a result. We figure out the eligibility of what is due, what should be due to you. We optimize and provide suggestions based on this AI Credit Max to help you to figure out what you potentially could be doing to utilize AI to hopefully propel your business forward, and getting you tax credits and seamless integration. We're the ones who help it in that regard as well. So let's talk about the benefits. Are there benefits for this process, this do-it-for-you software, AI Credit Max? The answer to that is yes. We do the research, as I mentioned. We do the process. We take the work off your shoulders. You reap the rewards, and finally, you have more money. Now, some people would say, well, by the way, the AI revolution, it's replacing humanity. Which scarily so it might be. You're replacing employees. Now, at the same time, instead of replacing employees, maybe you're lowering your service price, your widget price, because now you can charge less as a result of AI, and maybe even because of the R&D tax credit, right? So think about that. You could provide more services to more people as a result of you potentially getting this AI Credit Max. That's a big deal to think about. Now at the same time, sure, maybe you could get rid of some employees. That's up to you. We just had a conversation with with a client who lowered her employee spend greatly because of AI. But what I would say is, think of all the benefits that you have as a business owner. You have more flexibility because you're going to have more money in your pocket because of such products as AI Credit Max. All right, vastsolutionsgroup.com. I'm going to remind you again, we're a consulting firm, been around since 1969. I took over in 2006. We're a division of, I should say, a sister company of vastassetdefense.com, an estate and asset protection company, where we work with law firms to basically, I should say, a law firm in our network to help asset protection, estate planning. And what we do at vastsolutionsgroup.com, we do tax, finance, and artificial intelligence. As you can see, tax, finance, and artificial intelligence to help entrepreneurs, usually smaller entrepreneurs. As I mentioned at the outset, we've had some nice things said about us. We're growing. But at the same time, we got to be careful. We don't want to overgrow and hurt our service. Who are the people involved? Bob Bloom, vastassetdefense.com. He also he's the godfather of asset protection in the United States. He helps us as a network to help work with entrepreneurs in helping with their estate plan, asset protection, et cetera. Ken French, as I mentioned. I've written a number of books. My goal in life potentially is business. I should say my business goal in life is to help entrepreneurs. So many people forget about the entrepreneurs out there, and what we are trying to do is help entrepreneurs, navigate the murky waters, the turbulent waters that would be, entrepreneurialism. Our box, if you will, Einstein, which we started years ago, is to help. I love this picture, by the way; it makes me laugh every time. Is to help entrepreneurs. In our case, with tax liability, mitigating taxes, lowering taxes legally, ethically, and morally. As a result, and hopefully the net result is you'll have more money to spend on who knows, in retirement, or who knows, maybe hiring more people, whatever the case is. So to learn more a little bit about AI Credit Max, go to vastsolutionsgroup.com. Again, vastsolutionsgroup.com. You've stayed here for a while. I mentioned I'm a Forbes.com small business contributor. I should say. The Entrepreneur's Manifesto, a collection of smart financial advice. I wrote a book a while back. Basically, is a number of articles that I've written over the years that have, helped entrepreneurs to lower their tax liability, again, legally, ethically, and morally. At the same time, hopefully increase net worth. And it's just one, it's a gift to you because you've been nice enough to stay here. But the bigger gift would be for you to go to vastsolutionsgroup.com, figure out, start engaging with us, figure out a way if you could potentially utilize artificial intelligence to lower, to increase your innovation, to lower your tax liability, because there are so many people who are walking over dollars because they're not even thinking about the fact that they're pushing the envelope. And when I say the envelope, it's the government is helping you to push the envelope, but people are just walking right by those dollars. It's something that should not be done. Now, I'm going to also mention one thing. This is something to think about. You could go back 3 years, at least sometimes 3 years, and if you should have gotten some R&D tax credits, well, you can reclaim those. You can reclaim those tax credits and get some money in your pocket. That's free. What I would say is go to your tax provider. They know your situation. If they don't know how to help you as far as R&D tax credits go, reach out to us. We will help that tax professional, or we can do the project. The project, relatively speaking, it's work for us, but it's taking the work off your shoulders. I keep saying that. You don't have to do the work because we're the ones who are doing it for you or your tax professional. Once again, this is Ken French. I'm here with vastsolutionsgroup.com, as I mentioned, a unit of vastassetdefense.com. We're here to help you. We want to be a resource. Join our community. We have a free community called the Vast Vault, which helps entrepreneurs. We have, over 550 people who are in that community who are willing to really engage and help each other to grow and get that much more successful. The way to get involved in that is vastsolutionsgroup.com. Click on the community's Vast Vault. You'll hopefully research and figure out that we have a good thing going here at vastsolutionsgroup.com. Thank you very much for stopping by once again. This is Ken French. I'm signing off.